Good morning. Let's get started. Kumlan about Gemara. Today's daf is daf Ayin Gimel. So basically, we learned that all the menachas, all the flour offerings you bring, you put a kmitza, you take three fingers, the width of three fingers there, a scoop, and you put it on the mizbeach, and the rest is eaten by the kohenim. And then we had an argument between Rab Shimon and the Tanakama. What happens to the mincha of kohenim? According to Rab Shimon, the mincha of kohenim also you do a kmitza on the mizbeach, and then the rest you burn separately on the mizbeach, because it says in pasuk clearly that the mincha of a kohen is all burned on the mizbeach. So what about the mincha's chayte, the sinner? The same thing. And according to Tanakama, there's no point in making a kmitza because nobody's eating the balance. You put it all on the mizbeach. So we asked the question. According to the Chachamim, we understand how we know that the shirayim is always eaten by kohenim, because anything that has a kmitza, and every mincha has to have a kmitza, the balance goes to the kohenim. An exception is an exception is a carbon of the kohenim themselves, as the Torah says, don't need it. But according to Rav Shimon, he holds that even if you do kmitza, for example, the mincha's chayte of a kohen, you still, even though the entire mincha will be burned in mizbeach, you still do a kmitza. So according to him, we want to know, how do you know by a barley mincha the balance is eaten by the kohenim? Where does he know from? According to Chacham, it's simple, because it has kmitza. And he has kmitza, you eat the rest. According to Shimon, how do you know? So Gemara will bring a couple of answers. So the bottom of the page of Ayin Beis Amud Beis, on the very bottom of the page, we're up to the with the Brisa. The Brisa starts four lines at the bottom. Amma Chizkiah. Okay. Amma Chizkiah. Chizkiah says, how do you know, according to Rab Shimon, that the barley mincha, that there's kmitza and that the balance eaten by kohenim? Because according to him, kmitza doesn't prove anything. It says in the pasuk the following. And a lot of extra words in this pasuk is coming to teach something. It says the whole mincha, any mincha, belul b'shem, and mixed with oil, v'chareva, and any dry mincha, lakol b'nei Aaron tiyah, should be given to all the children of Aaron. And then it says in the pasuk, ish ka'achiv, each one like his brother. So we dash like this. Just say chol mincha. What do you have to spell out all the minchas for? Just say all the minchas go to the kohenim. We don't need it to tell you regarding the mixture of the chitin of wheat, because it says already, anything left over from the mincha goes to Aaron and his children. Is throwing in the barley. Barley with oil, which is what the mincha oimer has oil in it. Why do you mention it dry with wheat? It must be the dry with barley, which again is a mincha of a saita. There's no oil there. And to tell you that what, they also go to the kohenim. Says is that what you need this pasuk for? Don't we need this pasuk for another thing altogether? This entire pasuk, and we go through the entire brisa, a long brisa. An interesting halacha. We have every day there's another family of kohenim who work. You're not going to make a trade-off. You take this part, you take this carbon, and I'll take, you take the carbon, and I'll keep the flour offering. I'll have your share in the flour offering because the kohenim will split everything. But instead of splitting everything, it'd be so little for the mincha, it's not enough for it to go around. So I'll take your share, and you take my share in the carbon. How do you know you're not allowed to do that? And the logic they say why you're not allowed to do that, it looks like more like you're doing a commercial business rather than it's gifts to the kohenim. It says the pasuk, any mincha. This is what the pasuk brings. The brayso will learn from each word different things. It says the pasuk, chol mincha, any mincha, asher te'ofer betalat, you will bake in the oven. And then it says, and any mincha which is marcheshes, or which is the deep fried, or machos, which is the shallow fried. And whoever brings it, they get to keep it. And every mincha mixed with oil, and a dry one goes to bnei Aaron. What do you have to spell out every single mincha? So the brayso is like this: each one divide with each other. Okay, you don't share a carbon mincha with an animal. Now, what happens? A person, when do you bring a mincha? When you cannot afford it. So if you cannot afford an animal, the next stage is a bird. You cannot afford a bird, you bring a mincha. So the mincha has no direct correlation to the animal. Maybe that's why you can't swap. There's no connection between the two. Even if you're poor, you don't jump straight from an animal to a flower. You go first to the bird. But a mincha with a bird, if you can't afford a bird, you go to mincha. So there's a connection between the two. If you're very poor, therefore the pasuk says, therefore it says that you can't. It said to tell you that you cannot swap even a mincha for a bird. I would have thought, yeah. Is I would have thought, okay, you cannot swap a mincha and a bird because it's two totally disparate carbonis. This is a flower, and this is what do you call it? This is a living thing. So how can you swap one for another? How can you swap one for another? Sorry. But I would have thought oifus connected zvachim, but you could swap. That you could you could both living things. I can you'll take my share in the animal, and I'll take your share in the bird. Shalom, they're both living, and you spread the blood. If it says about machlas, extra machlas will tell you if you don't need it for itself, you don't need it for machlas because you just said mincha. Therefore, we're talking about you cannot swap a bird for an animal. They may differ. One you spray with the hand, you talk about chatas. One you spray with the finger, and one you spray with the keli. You know, it's my share in your mincha, in that mincha you have, and I'll take your share in this mincha. Both made the same way and the same substance. Which again is extra. Is divided. That what everyone should get every mincha. Okay, when we say you shouldn't swap minchas, because they're different kinds. Maybe one mincha type of mincha, another type of mincha, or machesh and machas, or deep fried and swap it for shallow fried. To do maseh kosher, maseh they're made differently. We're talking about over here. From a long passage we're learning out that kohenim cannot. Every kohen who works that day in the base of mikdash is entitled to shares in the karbonos, and every single korban. And even though each one will get very, in a mincha, the kohenim will get a tiny amount. You cannot swap. And the kohenim say the reason is because it looks like you're doing a commercial. It's not nice to do commercial things. So we're going through the pasuk to teach you that you cannot swap a mincha for an animal, a mincha for a bird. You cannot swap one kind of mincha for another kind of mincha. And Gilum without writing in the page, or you cannot swap a mincha that's deep fried and shallow fried, but high enough the same kind of mincha. Machmas can I get machmas? Maybe, because what's the point of you getting a tiny speckle? You keep my share in your mincha, and I'll keep your share in my mincha. Tamaloim, right middle page, there's so many extra. The pasuk spells out the chol b'nei goes from the Aaron, and it goes through every kind of mincha, which is all extra. And each one teaches you something else. Yochel, I would have thought, okay, lo yechalka b'kachim kachim. For whatever reason, the Torah says these are all examples of kachim kachim. The kohenim cannot swap. Aval yechalka b'kachim kala, maybe he could swap. Then I could put plenty of other kabbanas brought them. That day. It said the pasuk ish ka'achiv. It said the pasuk ish ka'achiv, and then the following pasuk says the imal toida yakivenu. So we darshan that ish ka'achiv also goes on the next pasuk imal toida. That also each person gets equally to the other one in each carbon. You don't divide it all. You don't share. Ish. It says the pasuk ish. Why is it in the pasuk ish ke'achiv? What do you mean ish ke'achiv? A person like his brother, to tell you that only an ish is entitled to a chelik. But first we're saying ish is inclusive. I feel the balmum, even though he cannot do avodah, but if he's a rostered on that day, he just cannot do avodah, but he's entitled to shares in the kachim. Another thing we learn ish, the ein cotton chelik ish, an adult, but not a child. But I feel the time, even though the child is flawless, it has no defects, he's not entitled because he doesn't do service. Says the Gemara. So the question already was, you said before that we learned from this very pasuk from Chom Mincha Belula B'Shem, and you wanted to learn from this pasuk that to tell you that every mincha, even according to Rav Shimon, that even a flower offering mincha, that the balance goes to the kohen. According to Chachamim, every mincha that has a kmitza, automatically the balance. Why do you have the kmitza to enable you to balance? Rav Shimon is one who says that even the mincha of a chayta of a kohen, which the entire mincha gets burnt on the mizbeach, you still need to do kmitza, and then you just burn them separate piles. So that means according to him, kmitza is not an enabler, a matzah to eat. So he asks, according to him, how does he know that by barley, for example? We know that all menachos, it says in Furush Psukim, and you learn knows each other, but a barley one, which is not wheat, totally different. How do you know that by minchas oimed the balance goes to the kohenim? Don't tell me because it's kmitza, that's a chachamim, but Yerushalayim holds kmitza has nothing to do with it. So we bring from this pasuk because it says extra. It spells out machmas machesh to tell you that even other menachos, flour, whether it's with oil, which is a minchas oimed, and whether it's out oil, a minchas b'saita. The kohen get it as well. Look at using for this whole brisa right here. They can't swap with each other. Nothing to do with your thing about the balance being eaten by kohen. Must learn from elsewhere. So you want to answer, you're right. But ahu mikol nafka. In this very pasuk, it says kol mincha belula. Kol is extra. And that teaches you all everything it says in the Brayse, you learn from the word kol. So the Gemara, we learned before that Rabbi Yosef Yehuda and he had his father and him and Rabbi Shimon, they were arguing about if you divide a mincha's maifa, baked mincha between chalos and a kiknor, it has to be all one. And he learns from the kol, it has to be all one and the same. And just like the end of the pasuk when it says shemen and chareva, the two separate kinds of minchas, so too when it says a kikin and it says chalos, the totally separate minchas. You can't share 5 chalos and 5 kikin. So we use the word call for something else. So we answer who mivikol. There's kol and there's an extra vav. Okay, so that's one answer we gave. How Rab Shimon knows that the balance is eaten by the kohenim by barley offering. Ravina says, "As you know, where we learn it from the Tani Levi, for the following brayse. Levi learned. Tani Levi learned. It's in the pasuk. It says again. It says that this should be yours from the kodesh. It talks about the chavdal, the 20 in kodesh. It talks about the different gifts you give to kohenim. It says the pasuk zeh yilecha mikodesh. This should be yours in kodesh kodashim from the fire. All the kabbanas, l'chol minchasam, l'chol chatasam, spells out, l'chol hashamam, asher yeshivali, bring to me, kodesh kadashim, l'chol hu ulavanecha, it's yours. And now the Brayse will learn each one is extra. If you just say it all goes to you, why does it go through each one? Talevi, l'chol kabban, what does it teach you? L'chol, the pasuk, l'chol kabbanam, l'chol minchasam, all the kabban, l'chol chatasam, l'chol hashamam. Kol kabban, the Rabbi teach you, loig, shemen, shol, mitzayda. Even though the balance, the oil they put on his right earlobe and his right toe and his right finger, the leftover oil, that also goes to kohenim. That's not really a carbon. That goes to kohenim. Because I've never thought, it says in the pasuk, anything mina Asia comes from fire. Now the carbon you give to the kohenim. But this is oil, it never goes on the fire. Because it comes to teach you that it comes to teach you that kol kabbanim comes to teach you even oil. L'chol minchas, the pasuk then continues, after it says kol kabbanim, kol minchas, what does that come to include? The rabbis minchas oimer. The teacher, that was your question. How do you know that according to Shimon? Teacher, minchas oimer, the balance goes to kohen. Or minchas kanais, again, barley, it goes to the kohen. So I would have thought, it said the pasuk, only those kabbanas, which is a kapara to the kohen, end up eating the shiraim. What's the purpose of minchas oimer? To allow you to eat the chodesh, the new crop. Nothing to do with the kapara. And even the minchas kanois is not a kapara for her. It's coming to verify whether an aver is done or not. Nami levadikasa. Kamashalon comes to teach you comes to teach you that also the balance goes to kohenim. Then the pasuk continues. L'kol chat ta'asam. The rabbis to include chat ta'oif. To include chatas oif, the chatas oif, that what the chatas bird as well. What do you call it? Is the kohenim eat it? Now, why would you think not? Because we don't shacht it. What do you do with a bird? You do malika. So I would have thought, okay, maybe that's for the mizbeach. But a person, for us in normal circumstances, instead of using a knife in the front, you go into the back and break the backbone and use a finger. It would be treif. So I would have thought kohenim can eat it. So therefore, l'rabas chatas. I would have thought lebeli kamashlon comes teach it that no, you can eat it. So I just remembered in our shul, Erica just passed away a couple of hours ago. So learning the schus of Erica, I don't remember her mother name. This is a member of our shul Chodesh for many years. L'chol ashamam in his schus. L'chol ashamam. It says in the pasuk l'chol ashamam. Again, why spell out carbon asham? The rabbis asham nazir to tell you that the asham of a nazir as well. It's not a kapara, and the asham mitzayra. To tell you what, that the kohen ends up eating from both of them. So the Gemara, Asham Mitzayra b'Hediksiba. It says the pasuk about Asham Mitzayra. It says that you should shecht it, you should the chatas in oil, ki chatas ha'asham hu lakoyin hu. It says the pasuk goes to the kohen. When you have the limud, ki chatas hu lakoyin. El rabbis teach you Asham Nazir. Ka'asham Mitzayra. That an Asham Nazir is like the Asham Mitzayra. Because I would have thought, la'achshikasi. What's the purpose of the Asham by a Nazir? So that he can start in his tamei to start in his Zidus all over again. Kamashalan. It comes to teach you, and you thought maybe kohen doesn't need it because on a kapara. Kamashlon does. Then the pasuk continues. Abish is saying all of these things. Asher yeshivu, that you will return. What do you mean that you will return? So we say over here that Asher yeshivu li kodesh kedoshim l'cha hu ulavanecha. What do you mean Asher yeshivu? It's a gezel ger. If a ger died, you stole from a ger and then you want to give it back, but the ger died, he has no family. What do? You give it to the kohenim. You give it a kohen. That part of the puzzle teaches you. And and he swore false as well. So he brings the carbon asham for the shua, and he gives the money to them. Then it says l'cha he ulvanecha. What it means yours and your children. What it means shachahi is completely yours. Shachahi ulvanecha. I feel the kadosh. It's not the pshat you have to use it for certain things. You can do whatever you want with it. You can give it to a woman. In order to be mekadosh, a woman has to be totally yours. It's totally yours. Amar Rav Huna said a new din. Rav Huna says, "Shal meha oivig achavim." When a guy donates a carbon shlamim, and we learned already before, ish. That a guy we had in the Mishnah a few times, the mincha of a guy, and the 10 minchas that we included the mincha of a guy. If a guy donates a shlamim, oilis, we'll not treat it like a shlamim. We will treat it like a carbon oil, which means nobody eats it. How do we know that? Can I tell you a pasuk or swara? If a guy is inspired to bring a carbon, even though he calls it a shlamim, he wants to give it to the Eibishter. So he's not out to take care of the kohanim, so therefore probably all of it should get burned. In fact, I could also bring a pasuk. It says in the pasuk where it says ish from the Eden and from the gate. If you bring a carbon l'chol nidrei hem l'chol noisam, it says asher Hashem la'oila. It says the pasuk asher Hashem la'oila. So now those and we learn from ish goy to tell you what that whatever they bring is an oila. So the Gemara. Called mikra oil. Whatever they donate, it should be treated like a carbon oil. Says the Gemara. Most of them ask the question. She's not the lahavi shlamim. If a guy donated, it says in the Brayso, if a guy donated a shlamim, Nasal Yisrael, if he gave it to a Yid, Yisrael can eat it, and Nasal if he gave it to the kohen, probably working there, not kohen oichel. Clear that that it's eaten. You said that it doesn't get eaten, the entire thing gets burnt on his back. It's clear. That's like any other shlamim. He misunderstood. This is what he meant. If a guy gave a shlamim, amanas, he said, I'm giving this, she is chapping, so you Yisrael owe a shlamim, I'm going to donate the shlamim on your behalf. That's different. Or Yisrael, then you can eat it. Amanas is chapping behen kohen. If he said, I'm giving his, and for the kohen who owes a shlamim, made a promise like a shlamim, and the guy said, I'll give it to you on your behalf, then kohen oichlin. But in a normal case, if a guy says, I want to donate a shlamim, we treat it like an oila. At least that's what this Brayso holds. He's Moshe Rashid asked the question. It says, the following menachos. You do kmitza v'shirei and lekoinim, and the balance goes to the koinim. And one of them is minchas of yecham. Clearly, the mincha of a guy is eaten. And you assume if a mincha gets eaten, so to an animal. What's the difference? You're right. Tzamach ha Rabbi Yossi Hagluli. Rabbi Akiva is actually an argument between Rabbi Akiva. What happens to the carbon that a guy donates? Is it a full oil or is it a shlamim? The time of the Brayso, it says in that very passage where it says ish, it says ish matam lemer ish l'rabba says what's an extra ish? It's a ish. Person who donates. What's a ish? To tell you that even a ish who's not a guy is also included. Now watch noidim the dorim v'nedavas kisol. They can donate just like a yid. Then the passage continues and it says asher. Yaakov Kabonai. Sorry, the pasuk ends. Yaakov Hashem la'oila. I would have thought. Ain't la'oila. All I thought is that all he can bring is an oila. Shlamim and non. How do I know to bring a shlamim? Which means this Tana is telling us that a guy brings a shlamim. It has a status of a shlamim. How do I know a guy can do that? Tamalim. The pasuk begins ish, and it says that Asher Yaakov Kabonai lechol nidrei hem lechol nidvaisim. Clearly, there's oila, but it's also the dorim and the davos. The dorim is talking about shlamim. Toidim and if you want to donate a toidim with a chalos, how do you know? Tamalim and advisem. Menayin the rabbis eifers birds yain. If you want to donate wine, stam yain esachim or levina, or just the frankincense, not part of a carbon, or eights in the wood. Tamalim it says nidreihem. It could have said nidreihem. It says lechol nidreihem. Nidvaisam because of nidvaisam lechol all the donations. What do you want to donate? It has the status of kedusha. So why taka does the pasuk end off? Sounds like it's only an oila. Oila pratlin is it. That's not coming to include anything. It's coming to exclude that a goy cannot become a nazir. If a goy says I'll be a nazir, does not have the status of a nazir, and therefore he doesn't bring the carbon oila that involves a nazir. He can bring any oil he wants, but he cannot bring an oil of a nazir. So if he says I am a nazir, he doesn't really become a nazir. Oil chatas, and remember, a nazir brings three kabbanas. An oil chatas and shlamim. The shlamim you burn the hair underneath. And so they were telling you here to teach you that he doesn't have a din of a nazir. Nothing.
But the carbon he brings, you just bring it up as a...
No. If he's saying I'm donating an oil as nazir, it's nothing. There's no kedusha.
Well, what do we do with the carbon?
Give back to him. It's an animal. It's chulun. There's no kedusha to it. Give it a basic glue. So basically clearly holds that a guy can donate a shlamim, a taida, wine on its own. Rabbi Kiva says, the only thing he can donate is an oil, like we learned at the top of the page. Okay, that's so much clearly a machlekes Rabbi Kiva in this. This you tell me we're excluding the oil. Why is it oil Hashem saying banana oil nazir? This is coming to exclude. Is that we learn a guide has no din zidus? Actually, we learn from another puzzle altogether because when it opens up the whole parsha of zidus, it says dabra b'nei Yisrael, v'mar talem only yid. And it says the Isha Yafli Linda. So who? Only Bnei Yisrael. That's how I know a guy. What do you tell me? You need oil Hashem according to Rabbi Kiva, excluding the Zidus. Isha Yafli Linda Nazir has Bnei Yisrael. So look from there that a guy cannot make Nazir. Says he more no. Ima Hasan from there. I would have thought carbon Laisi. He could be a Nazir, but he doesn't mean a carbon because that passage is talking about carbonus. But he's a nazik, Kamash Shalom. Therefore, it says over here. If it only had Asher Yakriv Hashem, I thought that he doesn't bring the carbon. It doesn't bring the oil. Only a regular oil, not oil of the But a nazir he is. That's why we need by a nazir. He should tell you that he's not even a nazir. Says the Gemara. Interesting. So why need the reverse? Once you know that Ish Yafli Ninda Nazir, then. And as you've been a throw, when you're positive carbon, he's not a nazir, he's not, of course, it's being carbon. Not sure. Come on, okay, so who's the author of the following mission? It says, remember, according to you can donate whatever you want, even wine on its own. According to Rabbi Kiva, you cannot donate anything, only everything is carbon oil, not even the wine. That comes with an oil, nothing, just the animal itself. So come on, how the time we learn Mishnah, even the 7 things that on the Bezin made a takana, we already had in his Vachim. One of the things that they did was, sorry, we also had it before the Gemara. If a guy sends a carbon from overseas, and sent with it, sent along with it wine, then we'll use his wine. But if not, otherwise, we will use the communal coffers to donate. So we're using wine, the wine of a carbon. Who is this? Lema Chayda, you'd say. Rabbi Kiva says not only an animal, but other things as well. No, I feel tame Rabbi Kiva. When he says an oil, it doesn't mean strictly the animal. And oil and everything comes with it. The flour offering with it, and then the sachim that come with it. The guy can donate, but not on its own. Send wine that he couldn't do. So Mantana Laha. So who's the author of the following brayso? Talk about we learned. It says in the pasuk Ezra. It says every Ezra should do the following to be makriv isha ein chorech Hashem. Ezra, we darshan Ezra maybe in a sachim. Every yid can bring wine. The ein oivul chavim maybe in a sachim. A guy cannot donate wine. Yochel, I would have thought loy tehei oilosay to nesachim. So his oil also shouldn't bring wine. That his oil should be no different than anybody else's. Sounds like he cannot bring wine independently, but he does bring wine with a carbon. Right now we're going back again. We think Rabbi Kiva holds only the animal. Mani loy who is it? Not Rabbi Kiva. Could he even wine on his own? Rabbi Kiva only the animal. The one answers, E-boy Eimer Rabbi Yitzchak Lili, E-boy Eimer Rabbi Kiva. E-boy Rabbi Yitzchak Lili, Sami Mahi erase the word wine. Because he holds the wine as well, he can bring separately. E-boy Rabbi Kiva, Oile v'chol chavata, Oile and all his friends. Rav Shimon says, Minchas chayta shel koinim, you make a kmitza even though you're going to burn the tire, mincha on the mizbech, it's super Rabbi Piles. How does he know that you still make a kmitza here? Talk about me learn, it says in Pasik, it says that you should forgive in the chatas, the shechata, v'hoisa la koyin, it should be to the koyin, ha mincha. It should be to the coin like a mincha. What do you mean should be? We're talking about the mincha's chayta, or coin as well, and should be. What do you mean should be mincha like a mincha? Should have a dosak shelaboy. Now what? That the coin that he can do. If a coin sinned, he can bring his own mincha. You don't need another coin to bring his mincha for him. He can bring it himself. After that he can do his own mincha. Maybe it's just coming to tell you that maybe the passing is saying Kim Mincha means that in this exception, if a kohen sinned and says that the mincha chayta of a kohen should be eaten. Normally, a mincha of a kohen gets totally burnt, but this one here, because it's a kapara, maybe when the Torah says it should be like a mincha of Yisrael, that the kohen eats it. There's another passage where it says whole minchas koyin kolti, you have to burn it entirely mizbeach loisa achol. It's minchas dasa, a normal mincha the dava. But when it comes to laveda where you need to eat it, maybe that's what's coming to tell you mincha. Maybe it has to be eaten because it says the keeper of a koyin, and says it says other places you have to eat those who want to get forgiven. That's why it says we want that it should be like a mincha. What do you mean? Makish chayvasai lined vasai. We compare his carbon chayva, his chatas mincha, to in a dava. Just like in a dava, it gets totally burnt on the mizbeach. So too the minchas chayt of a kohen. The man was saying in the chelas, in the chelas. Rav Shimon says the chi nema doesn't say v'hoysel la kohen kiminchasai like his mincha. You're trying to dash and what that you don't eat it like in regular mincha. His mincha, but like nema kimincha stam like mincha. So therefore, I'm going to learn that the purpose of the pasuk is not to tell you that the kohen doesn't need it, to tell you that you need a kmitza like anybody else's mincha. Elahakish minchas choytish or kohenim to tell you that the minchas sin of a kohenim is no different than minchas choytish or Yisrael. Ma minchas choytish Yisrael the kmitza. There's a kmitza there. Af minchas choytish or kohenim. So to by kohenim the kmitza then bring kmitza. If you're going to compare it to the mincha of a yid, ma minchas choytish Yisrael the kmitza. What happens? There's a kmitza and shoreh nechalin. The balance is eaten by the kohen. So maybe af minchas choytish or kohenim. So to by kohenim the kmitza you should do a kmitza and v'shoreh nechalin. Treat it like any other mincha. Tamaloimer. Therefore it says la kohen kemincha. La koyin kimincha, that the mincha should be like the koyin's part is like a mincha. The loyla ishi kimincha. But now what happens after the fire? Like a mincha. Everywhere else you only burn the kimitz and the rest gets eaten. Here not. Ha ketzad. How's it work? Koyimitz kored ba'atzma. So you do the kimitz separately. But v'shoreh kreven ba'atzma. You still put on his bed, but he gets burned separately. Hey, Avedic Shayla boy. So Mor asks a question. You told me the whole purpose to tell you that the kohen could do his own mincha. Even though he sinned, he could do his own mincha. Is this we learn out from? That's what the Tanakh said. You learn from mincha that the kohen can bring his own korban. So Mor said, we learn from elsewhere. From elsewhere. Menayin the kohen shebo makan the kohen himself, even though his roster is only a certain time, he can the rest of the year bring his own carbon if he comes on his own for himself. Tamalema says possibly, but he will come. He will come, and everybody has a desire. And he will serve. So therefore, he can come whenever he comes, he serves. So Gemara says no. So l'chayda includes a minchas chayta. The kohen does it for himself. Now, ima hasam have. I would have thought hanami dovish b'chet an adaba. Havel dovish b'chet. He himself said what he'll like a teya nasa sneger. He should bring his own carbon chatas. Hey maloi. Said Gemara b'hanami mahachanaf doing from here and mahasan from elsewhere. He said the chipara kohen ala nefesh hashageg is b'chata. That the kohen should forgive on the nefesh hashageg b'chata. It doesn't matter whose sin it is. It says al han nefesh hashageg. I don't care who it is. It could be himself. So the Gemara, Mahasam have a mina han b'shegig only if he did b'shegig. Avul b'mezid if he did b'mezid. In the law, no. I can ask a question you're thinking right now. Kamash law. If anyone b'mezid hey b'shkachla, where do you find the korban chatas? We do b'mezid. It's only we do b'shegig. I said no. There's a case. The zoda and shvur. When you swore false, there the korban chatas are elevated is, but even b'mezid that you still bring a what do you call it? You still bring a carbon chatas. For example, we have a few examples. We have a isha charufa. We have if you knew Adis and you lied, you swore I don't know any Adis and turned out to be a lie, then you bring a carbon chatas eloyed. And say that the kohen can bring that he brings his own thing. Nobody knows. You need a pasuk side by shegig and side by mezid that a kohen can bring his own. So I'll stop here. We'll see you tomorrow.